Well, here we are in Hochtown, Pennsylvania. We're going to finish up a video that we started at my house. And the reason why we thought about finishing it is because we never actually showed you the results of the forge being fired. And since the forge has a brand new ceramic pot, it hasn't been cured. You can see it's still sort of a green. So we're going to go at this fairly slow, and everything that we've done, we hope it will work, obviously, but we're not really sure. We're not really sure about the side draft system we have here, and some of the other controls haven't actually been tried. So we're going to go ahead and fire this thing up and see if it will work. And that way you'll be able to see how to start a coal fire. So I'm going to go around behind here. We're going to get a couple matches and see if we can get this, see if this thing will actually work. I'm here with Jim Mechanic today. He's our videographer for the historic village that we're in. Dixie, my dog, is here. Dixie, where's she at? Come on, girl. Come here. I got something for you. I got a dog biscuit for you, Dix. Come here. Look at this. Yeah, Dixie, she come down with us today. She doesn't, she likes to come down. If I leave her at home, she's unhappy, so I bring her along. Okay, well, let's, I've got a switch you can't see on this side to start the electric blower. I also have a shut-off ball valve that turns the air on and off, and I'll see if I can show you the results of that. You can see what happens if it goes on top with the air on, and there's no movement now, so that's working. I'm going to try and cure this a little bit slowly, because ceramic, if you make one, it needs to cure, and we don't want to just heat it up real quick because you'll probably crack it. Over time it'll cure itself, but for right now, well, we got some good matches here. It rained a little bit today, so hopefully we'll be able to get this thing a match lit. Okay, we got fire. Amazing. I brought some pine cones along and an old box, so we'll try to get this going. If you start a fire, don't pack everything in and try and light the top. That doesn't usually work at all. The fire comes in the bottom, so you got to start down there and work your way up. Got a few pine cones out of the backyard. We'll put this box on there, and that'll kind of secure some of the heat for a bit. You can see the results with a lot of smoke. You can see the side draft forge. This is outside, so we got a lot of wind blowing around. We did have a storm come through, but you can see it drawing in the flame, and as it warms that chimney, it will probably even work better. It's pretty cold right now. This is all green coal too, so it's going to create a lot of smoke. And the stack is sort of under the chimney up there, so that box up on it, get rid of that too. There's no air supply that's drawing the material up the chimney or into that opening. It's basically a side draft hood that has a little smoke shelf at the top, and that system is probably much better than a regular hood that would cover the whole top of the forge. It works very well when this is warmed up. And we only have a short piece of stack on there right now. Obviously your chimney would be much taller than that, and that would even draw better in time. But as that chimney warms, it creates quite a draw. It'll draw the paper and stuff right in, You can see how it's drawing the fire sideways where it's close. So it's very effective, much more effective than having a hood over the whole forge. What you're trying to do is create a lot of velocity right in here, and you're trying to restrict the amount of air that's access to that small opening. If you make the opening bigger than your pipe, that's not going to work very well either. So you're trying to create a small area that's going to draw the flame in. Obviously, you'd probably be inside also without all this wind. There's a storm coming through, but I think you'll realize here in a minute that when this box burns up, that will be much more usable. That pot will be cured here, and you can see it's already made coke right here. It's already solidified somewhat. So if you're curious about how long it takes to make coke, we've been going probably 5 minutes, and it's already started to expand, and as it expands, it sort of sticks together. A good coke, or a good coal, good soft coal, will expand anywhere from 1 to 10 times its size, and create a very hot and clean fire for you to do any type of work that you want to do. What's nice about a coal forge is you're not restricted to an opening. In a gas forge, usually what happens, for production work, a lot of people have gas forges for high-tech type things where you're doing multiples of pickets or something like that, and you want a lot of it heated all the same, and you don't want to worry about minding the coal fire and whatnot. That's great. However, you cannot heat a small area unless you got a small gas forge. This I can heat anywhere from 2 inches to whatever by sliding it in and out and finding the hot spot in the fire. If you have an odd size object, let's say you had something that was a big scroll or something that you wanted to get hot. In a gas forge, you're restricted to the opening of the forge. And so you have to sort of think ahead. If you're going to make a scroll, you better get the whole thing hot and make the scroll in one shot. Otherwise, you may be resorting to a rosebud torch or something like that to get it to the final shape. Where in a coal forge, you're not restricted to any size, shape, or whatever. You just basically put it in, and if you need a bigger fire, make a bigger fire, and it'll accommodate anything the size of the top of your forge, and will work real well. Now you can see how big the flame is. If I shut the air down, I can kill that down, or I can shut it completely off. So that has an off-on switch, and it also has a directional for the ball valve. If I open up the air supply, you can see you can actually hear the difference in the fire. We'll get a little piece of metal, 1/2 inch round, and we'll stick it down in the fire and cover it. It's always good to put your piece in, not down in, but across in that neutral zone, and cover it. If you don't cover your piece, it will not heat nearly as quickly as if it was covered. And a lot of people are very hesitant to do that because they got to see if it's burning up or not. You'll get used to that, and when it's going to be hot and when it isn't, depending on the size and the dimensions. I can see one situation here is that this pipe needs to be crowded closer to the fire. It is working very well right in here, but if I rotate the ball, I can help that a little but it would be nice if it was catching more of the flame. And you can see it's burning up already. I just stuck that in there. That's right at the point where it's given up. And that was not more than a few minutes. I'm not totally satisfied with the result of this. I think it will work. If you go with a pipe that is 12 by 16 rectangular, I am sure that would work much better, because the opening would be better. I just happen to have this one and I used it, and it will work, but it's going to take a little more work on it.